we're talking about Kevin Kelly. So let me just give you the backstory. I kind of did it, but I want to clip this, so I'm going to make it easier for editing. Phil. So Kevin Kelly, right? He gets fired out of nowhere. Tony Khan's doing talent cuts. It's great. And so he gets fired. And I caught a lot of heat on X at Pro Wrestle Times. If you don't follow me, he just comes out right away and he's like, Ian Riccaboni sabotaged me and whatever. And I got heat on X being like, yo, Kevin Kelly's the best commentator. And they're like, oh, he's old and he's fucking up names of people and stuff. And it's like, I would too if all of a sudden CMLL's just doing a tour through our fucking roster. You know, I would too. I would the names out like, come on, bro. He's a human goddamn being. He's worked, well-respected guy. I caught so much heat. What? I could name literally every Excalibur's better than Kevin Kelly. Fucking Marks. Anyways, he's like, fuck Riccaboni. Fuck him, whatever. Whatever. So here's people like Kevin Kelly starts tweeting out like on X. He's like, yo, what's the word? Pados. You guys know what I'm saying? I'm trying P3 dose, right? I'm trying to say this in a way is YouTube friendly. Okay. So Pados, right? He's like calling them out and he's calling out AEW for not connecting the two in any way. But now people are just attacking him. And so this guy's saying, so good to see the washed up right-wing conspiracy theorist back on Twitter. Simply because he's commenting on like that docuseries, Quiet on Set, which if you guys haven't watched it, go watch that. I grew up watching all that and Amanda Show and all that. It's fucking crazy. That shit's horrible. And so Kevin Kelly's like, washed up, how dare you? And then Pro Wrestling Counselor, a friend of the show, says that's what the AEW, and I know you guys roast his voice and shit, but he's a friend, okay? He's a chill guy, you know, he's got his views and opinions and whatever, you know. That's what the AEW cult does. Once you leave, they turn on you. And Kevin Kelly responds and goes, that's what Ian Riccaboni did to me. Can't wait for it to all come out in court soon. Oh, shit. You guys, chat, that's crazy. That's fucking crazy, dude. It's going to court. Ian Riccaboni turned on him as soon as he left. He's confirming what the counselor's saying. Wow. And then Kevin Kelly goes on to say, when is that happening? This story has seriously intrigued me. Kevin Kelly responds and goes, as soon as my lawyer gets going, 2 of them actually, lawyers. I never had a lawyer before, let alone 2, tagged Jim Cornette. And you all know what that means. Stephen P. New. Call Stephen P. New. If you need to sue. Sorry, guys. Live show, you get to hear me sing an outlaw mud show or two. Speaking of musically inclined people, guys, joining us now on the show, Marty McFlyerThanU, 2-time Grammy Award-winning songwriter.
To Lo-Fi, what's going on, man?
Your thoughts. We're just going to get you right into the graps, bro.
I've been listening.
Oh, you've been all right. So what are your thoughts on Kevin Kelly and him just calling out Riccaboni and the AEW fan base and going, yo, man, fuck you guys. And there's more here. There's more that he says about the Bucks and stuff. But what are your initial thoughts saying like, him saying like, yo, Riccaboni just turned his back on me when I left AEW as well type shit. What do you think about that?
It's part of the course. I'm not shocked. Well, I am shocked. Let me take that back. I thought Riccaboni had more integrity than that. Mm-hmm. Especially like in a way, kind of subtly being mentored by Kelly in a sense. So I thought he would kind of stand on 10 with that. But then again, I guess he wanted to keep his job in a promotion that's used as a filter system to get main roster stories over. But it is what it is on that. I'm just glad Kevin Kelly finally fucking spoke up because he's usually quiet.
Yeah, and we were talking about New Japan before, and he started popping off about New Japan, and Kevin Kelly goes, at real Kevin Kelly goes, I should back it up. So New Japan and Stardom owner Takaki Kidani expresses regret that Japanese promotions have become like American farms, and basically saying from a business standpoint, we're just basically farming talent to American like American television and stuff instead of like making wrestling bigger here. Kevin Kelly goes, stop hiring lame buffoons to run the wrestling business you own. You hired the Mark president. You're responsible for useless Japanese staffers who speak English, and you personally ran off the biggest star. Oh, shit. Holy shit.
Kevin Kelly got time today.
Bro, exactly, bro. And so he goes on to say, so somebody brings up like, oh, the Young Bucks were fucking New Japan too, right? Like someone goes, or he responds to this and he goes, oh, and the Mark president was Meji, like just names him. And then at Covent Tactician goes, never imposed internal creative control on being the elite, but threatened to fine Tama Tonga for cussing in English on a Japanese broadcast. Kevin Kelly goes, remember he was mad because one of the Bucks had put the tag belt on a garbage can during a BTE segment. Meiji also wanted to be an on-camera character on Being the Elite. He's just spilling tea, bro. He's just like,
well, Meiji and Rocky must have been like butt buddies or something. Because I'm surprised he hasn't said anything about that. Because in terms of farming or selling their ass to the forbidden door that they don't have a key to, because Rocky Romero, that's the silent finesser right there.
Right, and then Kevin Kelly goes on to the Covent Tactician said, and they follow PWT as well. Shout them out. Says when Kenny kissing other members of the Elite multiple times, including Brandy, before his proper redemption reunion arc could play out with Kota Ibushi, didn't catch any backlash. I'm sure putting the tag belts on a garbage can seemed appropriate to those boys. And then Kevin Kelly responds and goes, neither New Japan or ROH made any effort to capitalize / partner with the Bucks for being the Elite. So the Bucks were running amok and like putting their tag title on a fucking trash can on their YouTube show and shit. It's like,
and you wonder why Tama and everybody will be so pissed off about it.
No doubt, man. It's crazy. And then you wonder why like the factions in the Bullet Club actually happened, like for real. You know what I mean? Like we saw
forever grateful to Firing Squad. Forever grateful.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, man. So that was crazy. And then earlier we talked about, you know, how Uemura was like, you know, New Japan is not a fucking toy that AEW can just be playing with like that. And so that's where I'm like, yo, they're either towing the line or whatever of a shoot work. So I applaud them if that's what they're doing. But if this is just real heat between the companies while Tony's trying to keep some fragmented partnership together, I think that's a fucking huge L. And yeah, so Stephen Pinew's getting involved as well. Jim Cornette.
Of course.
So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? It's getting legal. They libeled him. They did some shit that Kevin Kelly thinks Stephen Pinew needs to get involved with. What are your thoughts on all that?
As far as, well, in general, as far as the whole bullshit with the BTE shit, fucking hated that show. It was cool for like a year and then they just destroyed it. Yeah. My whole issue with that is, okay, if Tama, well, real quick, do you remember how like Tama and like some of the other members of Bullet Club were like in it for like a second, and then the moment Adam Cole got there and then they kind of started edging Cody out, then you started to see less and less of them, like the Gorillas and like other people in them. And then we'll talk, I want to talk to you about this later for a side note, noticing how everybody in the Forbidden Door had access except for GOD for the whole like duration of AEW. Makes sense now after you brought up that point.
Yeah. No, you're onto something with that.
It totally makes sense. But yes, I mean, as far as for you to piss Kevin Kelly off, you really gotta be on some bullshit.
Know he's such a nice guy. Like, what the fuck, man?
Like, only person I could think of that's as nice as him is probably like, you'd have to go back, like Todd Pettengill. Like, those are the only two I can think of that I've never heard anybody or them say anything coarse about anybody. So if he's just pulling the guns out, it totally makes sense because it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, and they kind of pressed him out because you notice they started ostracizing him like weekly, and he'd be on less stuff. And even when I would tune into ROH, which was a fucking chore, into ROH, you would just see that it just seemed like he wasn't leading most of the commentary like he always did, or even on the New Japan front. Like you're used to hearing him like anchored the show.
Yeah.
So I thought it was weird, and then his exit made no sense to me. And then he was just silent for all this time. So now if he's involving Cornette and Stephen B. New, like he's just spilling all the tea. I feel like it's going to get, I won't say worse, because for us it's going to get better. It's only going to get better, and it's just going to kind of point out the fact that this whole thing, it was like how I explained to you on the last live, like for the longest time, New Japan was they're like the loyal side chick to AEW. They just keep believing that he's going to leave his wife for me, and then I'm going to be the main. It's not. There's a forbidden door that they don't have a key to.
Yeah.
They're farming their people out. You took Ospreay while he was still under contract. You lost Okada, which means there had to have been a bunch of bullshit for him to actually make the leap, because he didn't go to WWE and he chose to go there. So they just threw a bag at him. And then now, like, if Yumura is, I kind of hope it's a shoot in a way, but even then, even in a work shoot, you can still say stuff you can still throw some truth in there, because that's probably how he feels. All that to say that you just gave away your fucking world championship to a guy on the show that already pimps you out. It makes no sense to me. What is Cornette gonna get in on this? Because he's been a little bit quieter than I expected. Because the moment that Kelly brought him up, I can't wait for that tag team. Because I already know Cornette's got a surplus of ammo, just waiting to get off.